Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a 1991 film called
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Directed by
Mark Harrier. Or Harrier, depending on how you pronounce it.
We're not 100% sure.
Yeah, one of those.
This is a early 90s. It's just a horror movie, guys. I couldn't even consider it a classic. As always, what would we like to let anybody new to the channel know?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty please.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Anchor. You can also find us on Instagram, J Squared Horror Podcast, link tree in the bio, new episodes every Thursday.
Every single Thursday, as you heard in the intro, two lifelong horror fans, Josh and Jake, get together to do their own horror podcast, how they decide to do it. Sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's themes, sometimes we yell at each other, and you wouldn't guess we've ever been friends for more than 5 minutes. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Popcorn, which is I don't even know how to categorize this movie in the horror categories, but I would say it's on a slasher side.
That seems like a horror comedy.
Comedy. I don't think they were going for comedy, but it does have, the sometimes the shittier the movie, the more you can just laugh, because that's what you kind of get out of this movie. I don't think that was this original intent.
I mean, I did chuckle a few times. I'm pretty sure that was the intent. Yeah.
I cried the entire time because
it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I couldn't keep my eyes on my own TV.
Did you pay to watch it or watch it on YouTube?
It was free on Shudder.
What?
It was free on Shudder. Isn't that the name of that streaming service?
Shudder.
We are not sponsored or affiliated with Shudder.
little speed read real quick.
Yeah, just we're not affiliated or sponsored by any ways being for Shudder. Our lawyers told us we had to say that. And by lawyers, I mean Jake and I. So this movie is based in a movie theater for the majority of the movie. Old school movie theater, even considering that this movie was made in 91. I think that was still like an old movie theater.
Yeah, I feel like the concept of, I think it has just the one theater in it. So yeah, it's older.
It's the old school. It's like, if anybody in our area, it's like the Narrow. Is a good example of what kind of theater this is.
Yeah.
Has the marquee outside, one movie on it.
There's something about walking down the sidewalk and seeing
the old school marquee
and the movie on there.
Yeah.
It's good.
Excuse me. It is. Now, in this movie, there is a movie. And it's called
3 movies.
Well, in the beginning, there's only one. Aren't they watching it? Don't they watch it at the beginning of the movie?
Oh, yeah, okay.
The kids that put on this amazing thing that they do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie that they're watching is called The Possessor. And I think that's what this movie should have been called.
I agree.
I don't understand why this movie was titled Popcorn.
Well, they're in a movie theater.
Okay. Call it The Movie Theater Massacre.
Where there's popcorn.
I think that would be a dope title.
The Movie Theater Massacre?
Yeah.
That would have been the name of one of the movies they probably showed during the movie.
They still should have named this movie The Movie Theater Massacre, not fucking Popcorn.
I think popcorn's a good name.
No, it's terrible. Unless the popcorn's killing people or has a main part in this movie.
Which you said earlier, which would have been good.
Yeah. My idea was that anybody that was ordering popcorn would have been the people getting killed. Like, in that order. I thought that would have been super cool because it's called Popcorn. And that would have been a fun little, like, wait a second, I think that's what's going on. You know, something a little cool and cute. But no, They're just people ordering popcorn, candies, and sodas because it's in a movie theater.
Before I forget, I got a couple of fun facts.
We're gonna do.
I'll do one now.
The thing you have to sprinkle them in the conversation of the fun facts.
Well, I got one because it starts about the movie itself.
There we go.
The executive producers.
Okay.
One of them was Bob Clark.
Who is Bob Clark?
Bob Clark directed such classics as Black Christmas.
Oh.
And A Christmas Story.
Like the Christmas movie, Christmas Story?
Ralphie, yeah.
He directed it?
Yeah. That and Black Christmas.
Man, you really went out on a limb here.
Had to.
He's only a producer, though?
For this movie, yeah.
Sometimes being a producer just means you gave him some money.
I think for this one, he's not a credited producer. Don't know why.
What does that even mean?
Maybe he's like...
Maybe he did just give them money.
Oh, he could have. I'm sure he gave some insight.
Because I almost paid for Friday the 13th Vengeance Part 2.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna chip them, like stroke them a check for like $7. Remember we were talking about?
Yeah, to get our
stroke
names.
them a check, $700, and we would be a producer in the movie. And that's just because we gave them some money.
Yeah,
we did not do that. We are not made out of that kind of fundage here at the podcast yet.
That would have been fun though.
That would have been really cool, just to
for me to be a part of a Friday or a Jason movie.
I know a Jason movie, a Friday the 13th movie, whatever you want to call that one. I mean, it is called Friday the 13th Vengeance.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
It's not Jason Vengeance.
I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Friday the 13th Vengeance.
Could be.
But I don't know how you would get away with that. Maybe I don't know.
That's why I wasn't sure.
It's YouTube. There's all sorts of like loopholes.
Sure.
We can't find them.
None. Not a single one.
We can't figure this shit out to save our lives. So yeah, this movie, it's got the whole, younger kids. A lot of horror movies it's all teenage based. Maybe not teenage, but young adult based. I wonder if there's ever going to be a horror movie that's just like a bunch of like 30 and up year olds hanging out and just like, is what it is.
Just living life, going to work, taking care of the kids.
That is a horror story right there. Just life. What'd you do today? Nah, nothing. Went to work. Came out. Wasn't there somebody like hiding in your... Yeah, that's Bill. He does that all the time. Because, you need the fear aspect in these movies to kill people sometimes. And I don't think a lot of 30-plus-year-olds are scared of much anymore. So what do you take away from this movie? Like, what do you get? Like, what made us decide this movie? Like, what? What in the fuck is this movie? Oh, man. I thought...
All right. So, I was on my couch.
That's a good place to be.
A few days ago. I had a couple of refreshments.
This is adding up.
And I'm on YouTube. And a review for this movie popped up.
Who reviewed it? Anybody that I know?
It's called Joe Blow.
Oh, yeah.
So it popped up, and I said, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And I watched the review. I thought, well, I'm going to watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looked decent enough to me. I like the premise of it. The fact that it's...
The trailer actually looked really cool.
Didn't watch the trailer, though.
I did.
And I saw, the fact that they're in the... And my first thought was, because I like those old school William Castle movies like 13 Goes, House on Haunted Hill, Tingler, with the effects in the theater.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing that in the movie, to me, seemed pretty interesting.
That is the coolest part of this movie.
Yeah.
I'm happy you brought that up because, like, outside of the movie, like, if somebody just did this, it would be a lot of fun. Like, yeah, like, if you go see, like, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like, they'll yell and, like, do a live performance of it. But the fact that they had, like, the mosquito queued up, because one of the movies that they were playing in the movie is about a mosquito. And they had, like, a giant mosquito fly down, and they, like, zapped people in seats during a movie with, like, an electrocution chair. And, like, things like that, which would, it's like 4D, I guess we consider it now. But it would be cool for, like super corny movies like that it would be a lot of fun to be able to like have the production and the money to do that at like the Narrow.
Yeah.
Like if we could ever do that, that would be so much fun.
And that was my initial thought.
Yeah, like that part of the movie's cool as cool as can be, because I would enjoy, and I think that we could succeed at like. I would want to like scare people more than like make them laugh. Like in that setting.
Yeah.
Like have like actors queued up and like ready to go. And they think that in this movie, but that's way later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be really, really cool because it's like you're combining watching a scary movie with a haunted house.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really cool concept.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like the effect of a haunted house is like lack of lighting, actors like popping out, and like disorientation. And then like if you're putting on a movie that's like funny, scary, but then you scare people, like that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I figure it's I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
And I liked from watching the movie, the guy Toby.
Yeah.
The fact that he could make like these masks of people's faces.
That's creepy.
What I didn't get though is how he could do his voice.
Yeah, he was just very good at his voice.
Like the people do.
Yeah. There's a lot about Toby that doesn't make sense.
Such as?
Well, because Toby is the killer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you think in the whole movie that it's this main girl's dad that got like burnt up during like some ritual. So you think that's who it is, which is fine. It's all fine and dandy. You get a kill that happens. What was the first kill? Oh, it was the mosquito, wasn't it?
Yeah, through the chest.
Yeah. So that giant mosquito I told you guys about, he somehow gets remote control over the original remote control that controlled this here mosquito that was queued up to scare some folk. And the guy that was using the real remote gets, for some reason, you built a big mosquito that could actually kill someone, which doesn't make sense to me.
That thing was coming like 70 miles per hour.
But it also had a perfectly pointy mosquito sucker on it. I don't know what the terminology for that thing is.
It's a mosquito.
But the mosquito sucker part is what killed him.
Yeah.
But you don't need to make that anatomically correct to get the effect that you needed. So like he should have just gotten like hit in the gut and been like, ouch. But no, it went fully through him because the killer had a remote that was better than the remote that was controlling it, overrode it, and then flew it into him. Also, not a single soul in the crowd saw this happen. They were just like enjoying the movie. Like the mosquito flew down, flew away, then flew across, killed a man, got out of there. So I was immediately like, oof, this is how this is going to go.
That's typical mosquito behavior.
That typical murderous mosquito behavior. And I'm like, all right, so if this is the dad, like, what did this poor guy do? What's your motive behind killing this dude? What? Why?
Did he have a motive?
I thought like the Toby's motive was to get back at the girl, the daughter, or the girl that was in the ritual the first time.
Yeah, but wasn't he like already a part of their group?
He was a friend. He was like part of the whole process.
Yeah, so
because he's the guy in the suit.
Yeah, so my question is, how long did he know her? One.
The whole time.
And how long was he putting his plan together?
It doesn't like you need the clock to strike midnight. You need it to be in the same theater because your mom died in a fire that also killed the dad who you thought he was the whole time, but you just found out that it was a burnt up little kid that grew up. Also, he states that 95% of his body was burned.
Mm-hmm.
And you can clearly tell that he's wearing a burn mask. His neck, his hands, perfectly fine. I need some consistency in the makeup here, guys.
That's the 5% that's not burnt. Everything else is burnt.
That makes no sense.
Leg, stomach, chest, back, thighs.
If you're in a fire, how are your hands not going to get burnt? That doesn't make sense to me. That's going to be one of the things that definitely, because you're going to go, but They're definitely going to get burnt.
Maybe he had on
Fireproof gloves.
prosthetics on his hands.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe he had his hands in his pockets.
I thought the makeup was terrible in this movie.
Really?
I did.
So
I hated it.
I like
the masks.
Yeah, I like the effects of when he has his burnt head showing,
And then somebody's face.
and he puts the mask on.
Yeah.
When he like pulls it off, or when the sides are flapping around.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was fine, but that, I think that was just the actor's fucking face.
Yeah, but
the effect was good. That effect was good. His look without somebody else's face on him was terrible. He had random staples.
Yeah.
And like he
wasn't sure about that.
He put on somebody's chin and nose and is just wearing that for the rest of the fucking movie.
That's what happened?
Yeah. He was like, I'm going to make your face. And he puts on the nose and he puts on the chin and then he runs out and does some other shit. I'm like, dude, what? And his origin story, or the reason he's killing, is just bad. Like, why this girl she has nothing to do with it. It's kind of like the Scream thing, I guess.
Well, it was her aunt, right?
The aunt
shot his dad?
Her dad.
Her own dad.
Her own dad. But he's the one that brought all the people there to perform this ritual.
So the fact that he got burned is why he's upset.
He's mad.
Okay.
And she's like, yo, my people's died. And that was the mom? I thought the mom got killed. But wasn't that the mom that he brought in that was full cast?
That was her aunt, who she thought was her mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Who was played by Dee Wallace.
Yeah. Which that, like, she does just get kind of rolled out in a cast that's hella loose. And she is stuck with the gun.
Yeah.
Perfectly pointing. And I thought that was definitely going to come into play.
Never did.
Nope.
It's
just a waste of makeup. Could have spent the hour that you spent making them cast to fix his face. And then, like, there's this, like, explain the dude, the boyfriend that was with a hotter blonde that gets up, and then she gets a big, like, tough guy to sit down next to him, and he's just like, cool, I'm gonna head out again. And then, but the main character likes him, but he likes her, but he's with the other, like, the hot blonde. Like,
so why didn't get
what?
Why I didn't get about that was, so when that dude came and sat down,
yeah,
I thought they were like complete strangers. He just happened to take the seat, and if that was the case, he took his seat and his girl like that.
She's a hussy. She's a scarlet, a harlot. I never know which one it is, but yeah.
But yeah,
she's a mean lady.
Yeah, but then, yeah, that whole thing is very confusing. But
it's in the movie.
I'm not sure if that even is his girlfriend.
But why?
Either one of them.
But why would she have tried to play the jealousy card that many times? Did she just like him?
I don't know, but she was a liar anyway. She told him, I saw her and Toby
hooking up.
And they went back to his house.
Yeah,
you don't know where Toby lives.
She does not. She also didn't see anything. The power was out.
That is true.
Also, another humongoid, I guess, plot hole.
Okay.
The power's out on this entire building.
Yeah.
The band playing full blast. Microphones, guitars, drums, people shining the flashlight part was cool because you kind of just see like spotlights on people.
Yeah.
I respected that part. But the power to the entire building is cut off.
Okay.
And they are playing a full show with electrical equipment and microphones.
They brought their own equipment.
Yeah, they brought their own equipment,
Which
but they did not bring their own power. It's 1991.
They could have.
They didn't have battery-powered stuff then,
They
did
could
they?
have had a mini generator.
Yeah,
that
because they knew the power was going to go out at a movie theater.
You always want to be prepared for any situation.
So that'd be like
and that was a reggae band.
I did love the band.
Which, my other fun fact, this movie was filmed in Jamaica.
Was it really?
Yeah.
So that was just like was that a local band?
It was.
Holy shit, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How did I cue you up?
I don't know.
How did I cue you up
for
your
fun
fact with no knowledge of these fun facts?
Yeah, that was it.
That is cool. It was filmed in Jamaica. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but like you said, it's like us, going to trivia.
It'd be us being asked to do a live podcast performance, like in front of a crowd of people. Yeah. And we had our equipment, the power went out. And then in the recording, we're just killing it. Like everything's working perfectly. And you're sitting there like, hold the fucking phone. The power's out. This is all electronically based equipment.
Yeah, but we brought lights and our own
we don't have
power
a
source.
Generator.
Not yet.
We will never. If the power's out at the studio on a Tuesday, sorry, fans. We can't do anything.
I will back this 4Runner up into this driveway.
We have, what, one outlet to use?
It's one outlet.
Oh, but can I plug in that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're good. Dude, we should do an
See?
episode in the 4Runner.
We're bringing our own source. Maybe they had their 4Runner backed up.
91?
Yeah.
No. Just because the movie came out in 91, I definitely think it was like an 80s based movie.
100%.
It gave you strong, because when you told me it came out in 91, I was shooketh.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was the year I was born, and I don't remember much of the 91s.
Yeah.
But that was an 80s movie.
Well, watching the movie, it has 80 vibes.
Yeah, which makes sense because you just came out of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his... And then, like, why was he so aggressively mean to the wheelchair guy? What the fuck did Wheelchair Man do?
He was, like, really
That was the
mean
most thought-out, methodical kill. You would have thought he was the main person he was trying to kill, dude. Like, the dude's just sitting there with basically, like, our board, which could zap people in the movie theater, and it, like, queued up all the, stuff. It makes sense. And he's like, he thinks that it was this other girl who was like kind of being kinky.
Yeah.
And like, so he's kind of about it. Like he's getting tied up in his wheelchair. And then shit gets real when he gets an electrocutioner's chair helmet strapped onto him and got his head shaved and some soap put on there. Cause I know they do that when they give you the electric chair. They like shave and put soap on your head.
His was so elaborate. He had a pre-recorded.
Like, he was ready for it.
Yeah, he was ready for him.
This light's going to turn blue or yellow. I don't remember. And the dude's just sitting there strapped to a wheelchair. Okay, why'd you strap him to the wheelchair?
Yeah.
He ain't going to get up and run. No offense to people with disabilities.
That is true.
But there's a fact in that matter of you just lock the wheel.
Nowhere he can go.
Lock the wheel.
Maybe he might throw himself out of the... Well, it's still strapped to his head.
It's still strapped to his head?
He's still going to get shocked.
He's still going to get shocked.
You're right.
I know. So, yeah, then... It's the good 20 minutes, 10 minutes of this movie. Because then it's starting to show the movie and like where people are getting zapped and it's like giving you that like built up anticipation of like, oh, is it the blue light? Is it the yellow light? When's he going to get zapped? And of course, it's going to be like during the climax of the movie that they're watching, and it was.
Yeah.
And he gets his shit zapped. Then you see him disappear out of the chair or fall out of the chair because the chair hits the wall.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere to be found. Maybe he got zapped into a dust.
Could be.
Which
clothes and everything, bones,
this
skin.
This is not that
gone.
much power. I can't imagine that it was that much.
It looked like a lot of power.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the I don't think that board could handle enough power to kill you. Because you flipped around some, like, microphone cord.
Yeah, he unplugged
one, moved it, and is like, you're screwed. It's like, it reminded me of the fucking New Year's Evil fucking elevator shit. Clearly, we're just on a fucking run of just kills that make no sense.
With electrical engineers.
Yeah, these electrical engineer murderers.
They're just killing it.
Yeah. This guy at least he wasn't a real person, so I'll give you that.
So
over New Year's Evil.
One that stuck out to me was, I guess when he kills, I forget which girl it was. I think it was a girl who was kissing the guy who got the mosquito through his chest.
Yeah, because she was hooking up with the professor.
Yeah, and the mask coming off his face
what was
onto her mouth.
Yeah.
That was the mask.
Yeah, but why? It wasn't fully done cooking? They got a little too hot and heavy?
Maybe she was like biting on his lips or something.
At first I thought he bit her. And that's why he was like, ha, 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 ha.
No, he saw that fucking mask coming off his face.
It reminded me of House of Wax. Just a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just a little bit.
I can see that.
The remake. I don't know the original.
But then
after Paris Hilton.
Then after That movie's not that bad, actually.
I love it, dude.
It's not that bad.
I do love that movie. It was like right during the scandal, too. Such a good movie.
But then afterwards, after he kills her.
Oh, the puppeteering?
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
And then the fucking people, she's like, is that you? And she's just like.
It was like Weekend at
moving
Bernie's.
back and forth. Yeah, it was like Weekend at Bernie's. And then the guy is like, man, she looks like shit.
Yeah, she should eat more. What?
It's dark. She's dead.
You saw her 20 minutes ago.
And it's not even her voice.
Yeah.
But the guy can magically make his voice sound like hers.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Exactly. And the fact
I would rather them have used like recordings of the actress's voice and like act like it's him. But no, it was a dude talking in a feminine manner.
It was.
And I was just irritated.
It was just that person doing that voice.
Yeah. Like, no. Then they
like,
just run off.
Barely moving.
Yeah. Like, who talks like that?
Clearly she does.
I mean, not throughout the rest of the movie when she was alive. Yeah, it's just like, man, I get the movie theaters like that are going to be confusing and dark and the power's out and like stuff like that. When I was watching it, there were like brief parts where I thought she is a badass final girl, but she makes the absolute worst decisions. Like when they get locked out of the building, her and the guy, and she's like, no, we are not going to jump a barbed wire fence with a dog on the other side. We'll just take the long route. And the dumbass dude's like, no, we got this. He didn't.
Yeah. If Toby can handle it, we're good.
Toby lied.
He did.
Toby's a liar. Toby's a murderer. We don't know that yet. But, yeah, you're not that guy.
Not that guy.
Because he comes back beat to hell.
Yeah.
Ass hanging out. Fucking the two best characters of the movie are these girls that are working the popcorn counter in the candy bar.
Yeah.
They are the best characters throughout this entire movie. They are the smartest. They do their job. And they kick ass. Because when the girl that was sitting next to the other dude come out and confront him, she steps up and she's like, you're not going to hit a girl. And he's like, no. And she's like, I'm going to ask you again, are you going to hit a girl? And she goes, bet. Punches him in the face and then throws both of them out. So awesome.
It was good.
But that's when that girl started lying and you realize she's just a hussy. I mean, no offense to whatever you decide to do, but this girl in particular was not a good person.
Like, no offense to hussies?
No offense to any hussies out there. You do you, boo. But if you are a mean one, I'll judge you a little bit. Then I think the girl runs into Toby, and he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
And then somehow...
Oh, that's when they go into like that cellar.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're looking to turn on the power.
Yeah, because this is the only way to get to it.
And then the door shuts.
Yeah, well, he falls first.
Yeah, that's right.
Door shuts behind her.
Door shuts behind her, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, she's seeing her friends' faces with the flashlights.
Yeah.
Although, from the very beginning, I would ask, why do you need molds of our faces?
That's a little weird, bro.
Yeah, this isn't for.
Now, granted, I haven't done a movie yet, but those movies don't have those people, them in it, do they?
What?
They didn't like do a movie, did they?
No,
they just did the production.
Correct.
Yeah, that don't make any sense.
So the fact you need molds all of our faces is very strange.
Oh, that was at the dude. I did not pay attention to the beginning of this movie at all.
But no, I
was deep on TikTok.
It shows him like doing them.
I know. I remember looking up and seeing like one of those like molds, and I was like, not interested. I was on the phone. I was on FaceTime with my best friend. Yeah, it was just. And then I was like, I gotta get off the phone, dude, because Jake's gonna be so mad at me if I don't pay attention to at least 3/4.
I watched the movie. I got the fun facts.
You killed it.
If I came and you're like, no, I didn't watch it.
No, I told you.
Or I kind of watched it.
No, I told you. I told you I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I always watch. You're the one that sometimes doesn't watch the movie.
Not true.
I've never not watched the movie.
I haven't either.
Yes, you have.
What movie?
I can't remember, but I remember we got together and you were like, oh, what? We're covering that? I was like, yeah. And then we didn't. We did a theme because you didn't watch the movie.
I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah. You know.
I remember that.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, you find out his reasoning after all that because he grabs her. He gets her to where he wants her. puts her in a mold thingamajiggy, but I'm pretty sure, did she not get her face molded at the beginning of this movie?
Yeah, I don't think she did. Because if she did, he should have put.
And
he should put her face on.
Why was the friend just hanging?
Who?
The girl that got killed, the one that was kissing on the professor.
Yeah,
she's just dangling in the background. The whole she's just in her little conductor outfit, just dangling with a bag on her face. Huh?
Conductor outfit.
Or what is it? Usher? An usher outfit. It looked like they were train conductors from the Disney
from
movies.
the 1920s.
Yeah, Disney movie train conductors.
Polar Express.
Polar Express train conductor. Damn it, you beat me to it. I was too worried about taking a sip of So yeah, he does the villain thing.
Which I don't get that.
Dude,
why do you feel the need to explain to me your entire plan, why you're doing it, how you want it to end up? You're taking too much time.
The thing that I love about Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees is it's never them doing it.
They can't talk.
It's people throughout the movie that just make assumptions of why they're doing what they're doing. It's never them bringing up the mask, sitting next to the campfire being like, yeah, my mom got decapitated a couple years ago, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm going to kill every single camp counselor person that comes here. I just got sick of it. I'm tired of them not doing their jobs. And then Mike's like, yeah, man, I woke up one day on Halloween and was like, yeah, I'm tired of my sister's bullshit. I'm a killer. Got locked up, got out. And I was like, you know what? These babysitters are some bullshit. They don't take kids trick-or-treating. They don't do their jobs right. They're just too worried about having sex. I'm going to kill them. It would ruin those movies.
It would.
But yet, so many movies, villains, horror, non-horror, action, they take 10-minute monologues.
They do.
Of explaining why they... I mean, I can kind of gather it, inferring, but I'd rather, hear about it later. It could be a quick conversation after everything's done and the cops are like, yeah, that was that crazy dude that survived that fire back in 83.
Boom, we're done.
Boom. Mic drop. And it gives a chance for horror cops to finally look like they're worth something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he explains everything and then just decides that he's going to put on the production of a lifetime in front of all these horror movie fans, which I think that most people would react the exact same way they did. Because, like we mentioned when we were talking about Hell House, LLC, when you go to these haunted houses, people are meant to act like it's not fake. They're supposed to act like it's real.
I don't know.
Because that's what, they do. They'll be like, get me out of here. This isn't part of it. And you're just like, oh, whatever. This is a haunted house. And they're doing a horror movie marathon with a production value.
Yeah, I've never been to a haunted house and heard someone say...
I told you she said that to us.
Who did?
The girl where the bars were.
Did she?
Yeah, she was like, help me. This isn't part of it. And I was like, nope.
Didn't hear that.
I cut that corner so quick.
No, I didn't hear that.
That was right when Mike got taken. Our friend Mike got taken behind the wall.
Oh.
That girl said that right before that.
I looked right at her.
You don't, also, there's a lot going on in there, and you don't have the best hearing.
I can hear shit.
Yeah, it wasn't the loudest thing. But once again, that girl that kept laughing at us really,
was she whispering?
Really fucking pissed me off.
Help me.
When I was stuck. I was like, stop laughing. This shit ain't funny. I can't continue on if I don't know where to go.
That was good.
So yeah, he puts on the production of a lifetime, right? He's running down the aisle, hyping the crowd up. Yeah, they're eating that shit up.
Yeah,
He's
he is hyping them up.
Should I kill her? Or should I let her live because she's a good person? And there's way too long of a little monologue there. And then they all just start cheering. They never technically chose which one they went for, which really irritated me. He didn't go, do you want me to kill her? Yeah. Or do you want her to live? Crickets. I would have loved that. But he just asked both questions and they cheered after the fact. So that's an unfair voting. You shouldn't be allowed to choose if you didn't give the fans a chance to choose. But he did choose.
Because he didn't specify which option.
So while he's setting up his production, the boyfriend, I'm just going to call him the boyfriend.
I don't think he's a boyfriend, though.
I mean, the hero. There we go.
The hero, that's good.
The hero of the movie went to go find Toby at his house. You realize Toby's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs there. I didn't think that was needed, but it's cool because that's how he found out. He runs back to the theater. The doors that were locked because of the girl and the guy, he couldn't get in, and he's like, Then he does some parkour up the building, finds a window, goes in there. He's on the balcony, takes his belt off because the girl's about to die. His boo thing, his crush. He Indiana Joneses that shit down into the boxes. But somehow, some way, that whole process loosens up said mosquito. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The mosquito is not out of the movie yet.
He's the star of the movie.
Because the mosquito is the true villain and hero, because he does have a kill on both sides.
Yeah.
He has a kill on the good guys and the bad guy. Mosquito swoops down, hits him right in the chest, almost identical to how the professor was killed. And that's the movie, boys and girls.
Yeah, that is it.
That's it. So, Jake, being that this was a movie that you wanted to cover, you were super excited to watch. On a scale from 0 to 2, what do you rate? On a scale from 1 to 10, what do you rate Popcorn? Not the candy, not the snack, the movie.
Well, on a scale from 1 to 10,
That's what I said.
I rate Popcorn. Now, it was a fun watch. I did like the aspect of the mask. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
New Year's Evil was so much better.
New Year's Evil.
Way better song. Killer didn't make as
The
much
music
sense.
in this song is pretty catchy, too. It's something about, Saturday night at the movie or something like that. That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I did like the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad. You said a 6.5?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through every single episode that we have done a movie on. I'm going to write down every movie you've given a 6.5 to.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that you compared this hot, steaming pile of dog shit of a movie
It's not.
to those. Because usually your thing is, and I know that ratings, it's my rating. You've called mine bad before, so I'm about to tear into you.
Okay.
Your reasoning, your 5 is your flat line.
It's an average movie.
It's an average movie.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie is so below average, it's not even fucking funny. But you had the audacity
Oh, boy.
to give this an above average rating.
Yeah.
That is horrendous.
I enjoyed watching it.
You got to take out the enjoyment aspect and just
No.
go from a movie aspect.
Yeah. The point is to enjoy the
I
movie.
can enjoy it too.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
I can and I
You
have.
can't enjoy it, too.
You can, but you have to be realistic in your ratings.
What's your rating?
We're gonna have to baseline our ratings. This shit just blew my mind. This movie's a 3.2. It's a fucking 3.2, and I just think that was fun to say. It's a 3 if you want the God's honest truth.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give it 0.2. It is below average.
Okay.
The reasoning behind the killings is stupid. The killings are stupid. There's not a good gore aspect. The jump scares are non-existent. This movie sucks. This movie fucking sucks. I fucking hated it, man. It should have been called something else. They should have brought popcorn into the fucking movie, other than being a movie theater snack.
Okay.
God, you got me all fucking. My sweater's all wet now. I'm fucking irritated. You just gave this a 6 and a fucking half.
I did.
I think it's just because if I picked this movie, he would have rated it a fucking 1.
No, I wouldn't.
He would have rated it a 1. He just has to stand on the fact that everyone knows he picked this shit for us to sit there and watch. Oh, man. Well, yeah, you guys, thank you guys for tuning into the J Squared Horror Podcast as always. Big shout out to all of our supporters. Jeff Balance, who does our design work. Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music. Trademark Printing, who did some printing for us. We appreciate it as always. A big shout out to my co-host, Jake, for always coming up with these interesting movies for us to watch and to
You're
cover. Thank you so much for joining me every week on the podcast, bud. I appreciate it so fucking much. Thank you to all the fans that listen to us every single week. If you do listen to us every single week, I want you to prove that you got to this point in the video or the audio. I want you to comment on either YouTube or Instagram your favorite J Squared Horror episode ever.
Ooh,
To
nice.
prove that you got to this point 40 minutes in. I get the numbers, guys. Just make it to the end.
Please.
We just in comment, have some fun. If you make it to this point.
And watch popcorn.
If you make it to this point, comment, Jake sucks at picking movies. With 3 exclamation points.
Do not put.
And I will mail you a koozie directly to your house.
That's slander.
A J Squared Horror / VA is for horror lovers koozie. If you got to this point and you comment, Jake's movie selection sucked with 3 exclamation points. Free. I'll send it right to you. I'll drive it to your house. You can meet me in person. Thank you guys for tuning into the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name is Josh.
Hit up, Jake.
You guys have a great week. And remember, it is hip to be squared.